students get between 6,000 to 13,000 Canadian dollars. Master students get between 10,000 to 15,000 Canadian dollars, and PhD students get around 23,000 Canadian dollars. So the scholarship we are going to be talking about today is for bachelor's, master's, and PhD students to Canada. So if you're thinking about moving to Canada, this is an amazing scholarship that is going to help you move to Canada at extremely lower cost. And the kicker is that this is an automatic scholarship. What does that mean? It means that immediately you apply to the university, you will be automatically considered for the scholarship. The deadline is in September, so you still have a lot of time. And what we are going to be doing today is I'm going to guide you step by step on how to apply for the scholarship. I am going to talk to you about visa and migration processes, because immediately after you get the scholarship, it is important to figure out how are you going to move to Canada. And then we are also going to talk about budgeting as an international student once you get to Canada, because it is important to manage your finances very well. If not, you are going to be in big trouble. And to crown it all up and set you up for success, we are going to talk about career planning for international students studying in Canada, such that immediately you are landing in Canada, you are already planning how you are going to succeed in life. So grab a pen and a paper, let's get right into it. Hello everybody, thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Sylvie and I am a 4-time fully funded scholarship grantee, and I am here to teach you how to go get yours. And how do I teach you? Number one, I teach you on LinkedIn and on X. So if you don't follow me on LinkedIn and on X, go ahead and follow me, because you are going to be learning a ton of things. The second way that I teach you is here on YouTube. And what I have resolved to do is I'm going to be bringing to you all scholarships that you do not hear about anywhere. Not the famous scholarships. Y'all know that most of those famous scholarships, the competition for all of them is very high, and I don't want you to get caught up in that huge competition. So I'm going to be telling you about hidden scholarships with low competition. So if you are not subscribed to this channel, go ahead, subscribe, turn the notifications on, because each scholarship video is going to be revealing to you a hidden gem. The third way that I teach you is through boot camps. I have boot camps for 3 sets of people. Number one, if you have a low GPA and you still want to get scholarships, the link is in the description box. Sign up for the boot camp. Number two, if you are a newbie to the world of scholarships, the link is in the description below. Sign up for that boot camp. Number three, if you are someone that has been applying and getting rejection letters, the link is in the description below. Sign up, let me work with you. Also, I have a weekly updated scholarships database. So if you're looking for scholarships, the competitive ones and these hidden gems that I share on YouTube, the link is in the description box. Sign up and get access to the database. So here we are on the website of the University of Montreal, and it is UdeM Exemption Scholarships for international students. Are you from abroad? Take advantage of the exemption of tuition fees charged to international students thanks to this scholarship program set up by UdeM. So let's get right into it. It talks about international tuition fee exemptions, and it explains details about it. You can read it. I'm going to put the link to this in the description box so you can read more about it. But I'm interested in who can benefit from the exemption program. To be eligible, candidates must, number one, have an offer of admission to study at the university. So after this, I'm going to be sharing with you all step by step on how to apply for the admission that they are talking about here, and then not be enrolled as an independent study program or short undergraduate programs. These are those that are already enrolled at the university. They are not eligible to apply for, or they can apply for the scholarship. And then you have a valid study organizations for all the sessions. Be continuously enrolled full-time in order to get the scholarship, and then you are not benefiting from any other scholarship. That is mostly for French. I read about it. It's like French Canadian French people and Belgian people, they have some kind of a scholarship program. So let's get to the money. Amount of the scholarship. Undergraduate programs, this is the amount. You have A and B. You're going to be getting between 6,000 to 13,000 Canadian dollars. And then master students, you have the research and non-research master students. You're going to be getting 10,000 to 15,000 Canadian dollars. And then you have the PhD students who are going to be getting $22,900. That is practically $23,000. So now let us talk about how to receive the exemption for the scholarship. Step 1, apply for admission. Step 2, follow up on your file and receive an offer of admission. Step 3, receive a notice of the award of the amount. Remember, this is an automatic scholarship, so there is no extra process that you have to go through in order to apply for it. So now I'm going to be talking to you about how to apply for the scholarship. So as you can see here, this is the university. These are admissions. These are programs. So let us start with admissions. How do you... No, let's start with programs, because first of all, the first thing you have to do is determine what program are you going to be applying for. What is your current major? You have to make sure that this university has your major. So you have undergraduate programs, graduate programs. So your job is to come here and search for the undergraduate programs. If you are an undergraduate student, masters and PhD students, you have to go through the graduate programs to be sure that your major is there. Let me just look through this. Let's see if there's a long list, then we are going to look through it for a bit. Okay, these are the programs, undergraduate programs, and then this is like graduate programs from A to Z. So like there is a long list here. You can see 20 out of 528 results. Your major is going to be there somehow. And then for undergraduate students, you see 20 out of 303 results. Your major is going to be there somehow. So I don't want to hear anything about, oh my god, I do not know if I should apply for the scholarship. I do not know if this scholarship is for me. So here, this is the official website of the scholarship. Build your future with the best. And then it talks about the programs that are available. And then for 2025 admissions, there is still time to apply. So your rush this particular program. Okay, now that we have looked at the graduate and the undergraduate and the graduate programs, let us look through how you are going to apply. Number 1, here you have this huge box that talks about preparing your application. So it says make an informed choice, verify eligibility conditions, respect official deadlines, obtaining recognition prior to learning. So the important part is this. These are the steps. Like prior to you applying, you need to check if you're eligible. You need to check if your program is there. Those are the things that you have to do before you apply, right? And then now let's go to submitting your application. You have to submit your application and then change the program, pay the application fee. Most of you always ask about application fees, and I really want us to look through this such that you already know the cost that it is you are going to have to incur upfront. Okay, let it not be like some hidden costs or whatever. So it says fall fees amount. You have a base fee per session, fee per regular program, fee for the doctorate in, this is like special programs, optometry, and then fee for request. And then winter, you have the various application fees, and then the methods of payment. What you have to know, the most important thing is that you have to pay application fees for this particular university. Application fees are not waived. And then submitting your documents, and then you have to access the center. The next category of things that you have to do is track your application to be sure that things are moving accordingly. So it says track your application in the Centre Étudiant. So the idea here is you are going to have like a portal, and in that portal you can track your application and then modify the application if you need to. If there are some things that you want to move around, you can do that. Receive a response, make a deposit. But this one, you will have to speak to the people at the admissions office, because if you are granted the scholarship, then there is a chance that you may not have to make this deposit. Or if you have to make the deposit, the amount is going to be way reduced. Okay, and then plan your next. Congratulations, you have been given an admission to the University of Montreal, and now your next step is to figure out how you are going to move. So now we are going to talk about visas and migrating to Canada. You need 3 things in order to go through this process. And I'm going to be breaking these things down step by step, and we are going to start with the first thing that you need. The first thing that you need is you have to prepare your documents that you are going to submit at the embassy. And in order to do that, you need a particular list of documents that we are going to be talking about. Number one, you need your letter of acceptance. So you have to make sure that this letter clearly states the program that you applied for, the start date the start date of the program, and make sure that you upload it exactly as it is, because this is actually an online thing that you are going to be doing. So make sure you upload it exactly as it is. And then the second thing that you need is your scholarship award letter. As I said already, this is an automatic scholarship, and when you follow the processes and you've been granted the scholarship, you are going to be informed about this particular scholarship when you are chosen. So you have to use this scholarship award letter in order to prove that you have, number one, some kind of financial coverage for your program, and it's going to go a long way to strengthen your application. And then the next thing that you need is proof of funds, and these two things actually work. Let me move it a little bit. Okay, and these two things actually work together, because what happens is that when you get your scholarship award letter, this shows that you have some money in order to take care of yourself, at least for your tuition, based off of the amounts that we spoke about already, right? So that is what this scholarship award letter is going to be. And because of that, with this letter, you still have to show your proof of funds. So let me make sure I am very, very clear with that. You still have to show your proof of funds, but now it is not the huge amount that is usually required, because now this money is actually just showing that you can still live in Canada, you can still handle your basic needs, you can still take care of yourself, because at the end of the day, the scholarship that you are going to be awarded is going to be going towards your tuition fees. So because it's going to be going towards your tuition fees, you still need other finances, and that is going to be shown through your proof of funds. And then you need a valid passport. I hope that as you are preparing to study abroad, as you're preparing to move to Canada, you understand that it is important that you make your passport as you wait through this process. So step one, prepare your documents. You need your letter of acceptance from the University of Montreal. You need your scholarship award letter. You need your proof of funds. And then you need your valid passport. And then now we are going to move to step 2. We are finished with step 1. We are going to move to step 2. So after you have submitted all of those documents, the next thing that you need to do is you need to apply for a study permit. Study permits are extremely important, because this is what is going to show that you are allowed to live in Canada. You can do the basic studies in Canada. You can work in Canada at least part-time as a student. So this document, applying for this study permit, is extremely important. And there is a portal, it's called the IRCC portal. You have to create an account, fill the form, upload all those documents, and then you have to pay the fee. When I did the research, it said that 150 Canadian dollars, but please make sure you check with your local Canadian embassy what is the process. And something that you all also have to know is that based on the country where you are located, you may actually, if that country does not have a Canadian embassy, you may have to figure out which other country takes care of Canadian issues for your country. For example, you may have, let's say, one country that takes care of issues for three small countries because they don't want to send open up embassies in all small countries. So make sure that you figure out where the Canadian embassy is and how the process works for your country. And once that is done, you are going to get a letter telling you to do your biometrics. And that means like your fingerprints, your photos. You will have to do this in order to go through the local visa applications. And then when you are done with that, we are going to move to step 3. And in step 3, you are now ready to prepare to travel. And in order to prepare to travel, you have to book your flight. You have to, of course, wait for the visa approval before booking, and then you're going to book your flight to Montreal. Book as early as possible, and prior to doing that, make sure you plan for accommodation. Check the International Student Housing website. Speak to the people at the University of Montreal, ask them about accommodation, and whatever thing that they are providing, take advantage of it. Okay, so you have step 1, prepare your documents. You already have the list. Step 2, apply for study permit. And step 3, prepare to travel. Now we are going to talk about budget in Canada as an international student. How are you going to manage your money? You need to manage your money, else you're going to struggle. You don't want to struggle now, do you? So we are going to talk about rent. We're going to talk about food, transport, phone and internet, books and supplies, and leisure and emergencies, because that is important. You need to save for rainy days. So let us start with rent. Normally you are going to spend somewhere between 600 to 1,000 Canadian dollars, but this really depends on where you choose to stay. If you stay in a dormitory, you're going to spend less. If you get a private room, you are going to spend more. If you get an apartment, you are going to spend more. But even if you're going to be getting an apartment, you can team up with some students in order to split costs. That is what most students do when they are going to be living abroad and they have to save up on money. They team up, live together, and split the cost. Now let us talk about food. You are going to be spending somewhere between 200 to 400 Canadian dollars for your food. And what is important here is you should cook at home. Eating out is going to cost you so much more. I know that sometimes you can treat yourself. I am not saying be this person who is stuck up in your room only cooking food that you brought from your country. No, do not be that person. Treat yourself every once in a while, but at the same time, make sure that you cook at home more than you eat outside, because that money is going to be important and it is going to save you a ton. And then let's talk about transportation. This is going to be about 50 Canadian dollars. And the tip that I'm going to be sharing with you here is usually there are tons of discount services that if you show even just your student pass, you can get those discount services. So go to the International Student Office, ask them about what are the transportation discounts that are available to you as an international student with your card. Do not just ask for transportation discount, ask for all the discounts that are available to you as an international student. And guess what? Take advantage of all of those benefits. Use them, squeeze them like an orange, squeeze out all the juices out of all of those discounts, because guess what? That is how you are going to be saving up on money. Now let's talk about phone and internet. So here you are going to be spending somewhere between $50 to $80. And usually in several countries, there are student plans that are available. Most of these huge telecommunications companies, they know that students want cheaper services. So ask the student counselors, ask the International Student Office, what are the plans that are available and which of the company providers have cheaper services for international students, discounts for international students, and sometimes they actually run discount promotions and things like that. So you can probably gauge it like, when is there a discount? And when there is that discount, boop, that is when you swoop in and you sign a contract with any of these contract providers. Most of them are going to have like maybe within particular times of the year, so you have to gauge and look at it properly. Now let's talk about books and supplies. This is extremely important. So you're going to be spending somewhere between $100 and $150 here. Pro tip: do not buy new books. Buy digital books because those are cheaper. Secondly, buy second-handed books. Most times, because we live in this era where everybody is going online and getting online books, you will find that books that have hard covers, people are just ready to give them away for as cheap as possible. That is your chance to swoop in and get in all of these books as cheap as possible. Also, the university has a library, so you can make good use of that library in terms of like textbooks and things like that, journal articles and things like that. But of course, in terms of like your personal books and things like that, you will have to buy those for yourself. But make sure that you buy those digital books, because that is what is going to be extremely important. And now let us go to leisure and emergencies, and we are going to put $100 here. The idea here is you want to, like, it is important to manage your money, but do not manage your money to the point where you become miserable because you're trying to save money. It is important to have some fun. Keep some part of the budget in order to have some fun. Go out, hang out, but let that not be culture. Let that not be like something you do every day. So just have that buffer in order to go out, have fun, but also save up some money in case something happens. You have the chance to be able to take care of those things financially. So now let us make sure that we set you up for success, such that the first day that you are getting into Canada, you can plan your life in a way that you expected, and you can invest in making sure that you do not get out of school and you are lost. Okay, so we have career planning in Canada as an international student, and there are four main things that you have to do, and I'm going to be walking you through all of these four things. Remember, if you have any questions, do well to put them in the comment section. The first one is working while studying. So because you are a student that has gotten a study permit, you are allowed to work 20 hours while you are studying. So you have 20 hours that you can work, and that is amazing because it helps make you some money while you're studying, but at the same time it helps give you some work experience. And normally during the holidays you will be able to work full time, so that is also going to help you make a ton more money, and you're going to get a ton more experience. The common student jobs that you can do, you have the campus assistant. Those are the things that you can do. You can work in cafes or in grocery stores. You can actually do freelancing. Let's say that you have some skills: video editing, graphic designing, tutoring. You can get to do all of those. Most of these jobs while you are in school, they are not going to be like glamorous jobs, but what it does is that these jobs are going to be giving you experience in Canada, Canadian experience, and employers love that, and that is going to increase your chances of getting tons of opportunities when you eventually get out of school. The next thing that is important is, let me take this one out because there is not a lot of space. We go to number 2, and we are going to be talking about internships and volunteering. Okay, what happens is that the University of Montreal has a program that is called the COOP, the Co-op program, and it has internship options. Many of the programs have internship options, and these are like trial jobs that if you do well at these jobs, you have a chance that they are going to give you the full-time role after graduation. This is an amazing and a unique opportunity, because I wish that was the case when I moved abroad. Like, you could do an internship in a company, and then when you're done, if you do very well, you have a good chance at getting full-time employment. That is an amazing thing. And also what you can do is volunteer with student groups, community projects. What this does is it builds your resume, it builds your network, because when you eventually get out of school and you have to be applying for jobs, things that matter, your network is going to be important, and the resume that you have built while in school, while in Canada, is going to go a long way to set you up for success. Now let us move to number 3, and in number 3 we are going to be talking about the post graduation work permit. Okay, so once you graduate, you will have to apply for this post graduation work permit, and your University of Montreal, is eligible, which means that you can work in Canada for up to 3 years after you have graduated. This is like the best path in order to get to permanent residency in Canada, because you would have completed your degree in Canada, you have a valid study permit throughout your program, and then you can do your application within 180 days after graduation. This is the reason why I'm bringing this video to you all now, such that the first day you're stepping foot in Canada, you already have a plan on how you are going to succeed in that country, and these are the steps that are going to help you be successful. Okay, and then the next thing that is extremely important is that you have to start early. You have to start early. You really have to start early, because, and that is why it's important to watch this video, because in starting early, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be getting informed about all of the opportunities that are available. Go to the career fair center, get information about career fairs. When do they open? What are the documents that are required? Familiarize yourself with the entire process. What kinds of companies come to this career fairs? What are they looking for? How can you prepare yourself and make sure that when it is your time, you are the best candidate for this particular things? You can actually use LinkedIn. Develop projects, post them on LinkedIn, network on LinkedIn, network online and offline. While in school, network. If you are volunteering, you already have a network. If you are going to career center, you are networking already. And then online also, LinkedIn, network as much as possible. If you're working on some projects, post your projects online. Let people know what you are doing. Reach out to professors and build relationships with those that you're networking with, those that you are working. Remember, we spoke about doing that job, the internships. Make sure that you keep good relations with those people, because you are going to need recommendation letters. Also build good relationships with your professors, because you are going to need those recommendation letters. Academic recommendation letters are important. Those that know you in the working field, recommendation letters are important. So you make sure that you grab those two things, and this is something that it is built over a long period of time. So if you start already with the end in mind, you start early, you are going to set yourself up for success. If you found this helpful, please do well to hit the like icon, subscribe to this channel, and let me know in the comment section, are you going to be applying for it? Did you understand all the sections that I broke down? If you have any questions, put them in the comment section and I am going to answer you. As you can see, these are opportunities to one university, the University of Montreal. But if you still want to move to Canada and you are saying that, okay, I want to try other options, watch this video here where I show you about scholarships that have tons of partner universities. These scholarships are for vocational students, bachelors, masters, PhD, and postdoc. And you have a ton of universities that you can explore to see which one suits your needs, and you can apply for them. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to see you all in the next one. Bye.